Hi everyone, and welcome to the event check-in with me, Lisa, your inside look at travel industry events. Again, I'm Lisa Watson, founder of Find Travel, a directory-based platform where travel professionals can explore industry events, training opportunities, suppliers, tools, and to help them grow their travel business. Today I'm really happy to be chatting with Kelly Wright from Travel Show Marketing Group, the organization behind well-known travel advisor events, including the Las Vegas Travel Agent Forum, Romance Travel Forum, Travel Agency Owners Forum, and the European Travel Agent Forum, along with destinational experiences too. Also another fun part of today's conversation is that Kelly is also a travel advisor. So she understands these events from both the advisor perspective and the event organizer side too as well. So if you're joining us live and have questions about the events that we talk about today, feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll try to answer a few of them during the session. So feel free to ask any questions because this is the time for you to chat with us. And Kelly, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so happy that we're able to do this.
Thank you for having me. I love it.
Yeah, you know what? Tell us a little bit about your role with Travel Show Marketing Group and your background as a travel advisor.
Absolutely. So with Travel Show Marketing Group, I'm the travel agent. I'm part of the travel agent recruitment team, and I have been working with them for about 2 years. And then I've been a travel agent since 2017. So I started in the industry in 2017. But I think the fun thing of that is my first event was actually a Travel Show Marketing Group event in 2017 in that fall in Miami. So that's one of the things that I really feel like being part of this role. I understand it and I understand what the agents are going through when they're coming there, either if they're new or have been in the industry for a while, because I've been to the events several times prior to working with the company. So I love to be able to share that part of it also.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that perspective because
Yeah.
then, you get the inside scoop of, the travel advisor side and then also the background of how the events are made as well. So that's why I'm just so excited that we're able to chat today so other travel advisors can have more of a perspective of, what your take is on the event as well. For anyone who may not be familiar with the Travel Show Marketing Group, can you share a little bit more about what your team does and the types of events that you produce for travel advisors?
Absolutely. So we have a bunch of different types of events. We're pretty much a company that's going to bring together travel advisors and suppliers to connect at different events. So the events are worldwide, and we have our largest one being Las Vegas. At that one, we have the opportunity for to meet about 350 suppliers on our trade show floor. During that event, there's also some educational sessions, roundtable meetings, and lots of different ways for agents to network. So it's perfect way for that to happen. That event has two different parts to it. One of the parts is where you can pay to attend. So that one's from May 12th to 15th. So you can either pay to attend and be able to attend all those things. There is also an option with that event, but it's currently full to be able to apply to attend and be part of a hosted thing. And that's for agents that have experience in the industry and are really focusing on growing their business in full time. But that one is in Las Vegas every year. The suppliers that come are from all over the world, and it's wonderful to be able to have all those suppliers there. It's suppliers that you don't necessarily get to meet at other events, and they really love to come and meet with the agents and talk to them afterwards. And then we have some other events too that are hosted events that we have, and those ones are specified with different niches, and we can kind of discuss those ones too. I didn't know if you want to discuss a little bit more Vegas or if you want me to talk about
Yeah,
those
anything
events
and everything
locally.
that you want to discuss that you
All
think that
right,
would be great for, our community to know about.
awesome. So just tell me to be quiet whenever you want me to. So, I mean, for
Never.
the for the most part, Las Vegas, as far as an event, like I said, so for that one, it's going to be May 12th through 15th. Stuff is going on the entire time during that event. So there's check-in on the 12th, and then there's sessions also that day in the afternoon. And with that, you're going to have different options to choose from for the educational session. So if you're a brand new agent or an experienced agent, there's lots of things to choose from and lots of things to have. So there's going to be some destinations that are going to talk. There's going to be some suppliers like Travefy there. things like that. And you'll be able to really like deep dive and talk to the people that are part of all of the different suppliers, and learn things. And then as far as the destination goes, usually we have people like Alaska, Hawaii, things like that, just talking during the event and explaining their locations, and the actual schedule for the event. We can link it afterwards, is on our website right now with what all of the options are going to be. And the choices are going to be made pretty soon on our app of where people can go in and choose what they're going to do at each time. So say at like from 9 to 11, there might be a couple different, three different options that people can choose from. But in addition to the educational parts of it, one of the parts I really love is that round table. So there's different options too for that, that you can be in a room with either destinations and DMCs or cruises and things like that. So there's 5 different rooms that you can pick which one you're going to be in. And then there's going to be, the room will be filled with that particular category, which is pretty cool to be able to be in there, sitting at a table and having the suppliers go from one table to the next to talk to you about, what their product is. And then, you'll get a little bit from them there, and then you can always follow up with them on the trade show floor at the end of the event and get more information from them. Or the best part, I always say, is to take down their information, take their business card, and you can also reach out when you get back. And those suppliers love that. That's a
Yes,
wonderful way
I
to
love
really
that
do it.
format where you could sit down, talk, absorb what they're telling you, and then it takes time to be like, okay, you know what, I have some questions for them. So that,
Yeah.
having that trade show after the roundtables helps so much. And then that makes you be able to have a more personal, connection with that supplier BDM as well, too. So,
Well, 100%. And I just saw the other day, I thought it was pretty cool, and I'm sure I'm just behind the times on this one, but that like on Amazon or wherever, you can buy a book that has a spot for one business card, and then underneath it is a place that you can write stuff. I'm gonna get that for my next event because I always come back with all these business cards,
yeah.
and I never like I write on the back of them or whatever it is, but I've been trying to find a way to be a little bit more streamlined with it. So I think that that's a perfect way to do it. Like,
Yeah, okay. You need to send me that link once you do
yeah.
find it because that's so up my alley.
I took a picture of the person's book and I was like, that's so cool. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and having something tangible. I know that, everybody's doing digital and everything, but sometimes having that moment and writing that down makes it easier than just capturing it in a digital moment. So, yeah. Okay. Thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just saw that Nicole Inman says she took it to ETAF, so she might actually be one of the people I saw with it. But I also, with that too, is one of the things that I always say to do too, and I did it with this event, and I have the proof right here, is that make goals for when you're going somewhere. So I just made goals before going to Fairbanks, and I think that that's a really great thing to do prior to an event. Make goals, figure out who you're going to be talking to, and research them a little bit because then you'll know a little bit more too before you have those conversations.
Yeah, and talking about Fairbanks, so that was something that Kelly just got back from, which is one of the many event opportunities that the Travel Show Marketing Group offers, which is, correct me if I'm wrong with the name, Destinational Experiences.
Yeah, so it's the amazing destination experiences. So this
Okay.
one was the amazing destination, amazing Alaska experience in Fairbanks. And last year we had one in Anchorage. And these events, we've had several of them. We have another one coming up in Croatia soon. And then there's going to be another one released in the next couple of weeks. So make sure that people are looking out for that one because it will be another good opportunity to apply to. And that is a hosted one. But with Fairbanks, we had the event, there was pre-fams, and actually there's still some people right now on post-fams, and it was just incredible. We got to do so many things, meet with suppliers there. There was one-to-one meetings, different educational sessions. Just I got to see the Northern Lights a couple times. I mean,
That's
you saw from
awesome.
the smile on my face, I'm sure, like it was really amazing. Good dog sledding.
So the amazing the destination experience.
Yep.
So that event is completely different than the rest of your events, correct? And how is
Correct.
that
And so,
different?
yeah, absolutely. So that event is really different, and each event is kind of different from the other one too. It really depends on the supplier that we're working with. So it's where you're totally immersed in a destination for one. So the suppliers are going to be there and that you're going to be meeting are from the destination that you're going to. So for with Alaska, there was 30 travel agents and like 26 suppliers plus even probably more than that they met along the way. and everybody was an Alaskan business that they talked to and could provide them details on how to do different things in Alaska and book all of that. And then with the Croatia one, it's the same thing. There's, I think, 20 agents going to that one, and they'll also have some supplier meetings and things like that. But we've had other ones on. We had one with Belize at Serenian Bay last year. And with that one, it was where the agent stayed at the hotel and then went and did some site inspections at other local hotels and did some other things in the area. So it really depends on the event to what is going to be included and what the agents will be doing.
So,
Um,
yeah, so it's a whole immerse experience and
yeah.
stuff. And later on in our chat, we're going to talk more about how you can qualify for it and how
Yep.
to apply for it as well.
Yep.
So Kelly will give you little scoops on how to go about doing that. But
I
yeah,
love
those experiences sound amazing because definitely it sounds like they, roll out the red carpet for you and really showcase what you can experience in that destination. So that's awesome. And it sounds like you had a great time in Alaska too. So
it. It was wonderful.
now, tell me a little bit more about like the romance travel forum and
Absolutely.
yeah.
So outside of Las Vegas, all of our other events are what we call as a hosted program. So Las Vegas, you can pay to attend, but the other events are all hosted and you have to apply to. So with romance, it's for an agent, and I understand what romance means here, but it's really for an agent that does do specializing in destination weddings is what we're looking for there. And when you're filling out that application, sorry, you're going to fill it out with supplier references that can also confirm that you do destination weddings. We do reach out to those supplier references. This year, for romance, it's going to be at the Hard Rock Punta Cana in June. But the great thing about these events is that they're not like you're not just sitting at the Hard Rock the entire time in a room and not leaving. You're going to be in a room for some of the educational stuff, absolutely, but you'll also be outside exploring the grounds of the Hard Rock and seeing some other hotels in the area and doing some of the events at the other hotels also. So for romance, one of the things that everybody really loves for romance as well as some of our other events is the fact that they get to do these peer-to-peer type of meetings of where they're sitting in a room and talking to their peers.
Oh, I love that because then
Yes.
you can kind of, get to know, your colleague within the industry and create that relationship and maybe learn from each other as well too. I think that's
Yeah. And I think that's the big
beneficial.
part of that is that you're in there, there's not any suppliers in there with you, you're just with agents, and then there's usually one agent that will lead the meeting and help keep things on track. And you have a subject that you're talking about, but it's so helpful for agents to be able to ask questions of others. Maybe someone else has dealt with something that they haven't yet or has advice for them, or maybe they're both going through the same thing right now and they can kind of figure it out together. So whenever we walk away, those are things that people really love.
Now, with the romance travel forum, is it in different destinations every year, or is it in the same local area, like how the Las Vegas show is?
So all of our other events other than Vegas are always at a different
Okay.
destination every year. So, Romance this year is going to be in Punta Cana, but last year it was in Mexico. So it really depends on what destination we talk to and really is gonna what hotel is gonna host it and things like that.
Mhm.
But that's with all of our events. We also so romance, in addition to having that peer-to-peer meetings, you're also having one-to-one meetings with all the suppliers or some of the suppliers that are there. So you have about 180 agents and 90 suppliers that will be at the event, and you'll meet with some of them one-to-one, and at other ones you'll have time to network during the event at other evening events and things like that, lunches and stuff.
Awesome. And what about the travel agency owners forum? I'm curious
So
about that. I'm not as knowledgeable as about that event, so I'm curious to learn more.
yeah, so that event is great for same thing. You're filling out that application to attend. And I know that we have a couple people on this call that might want to chime in a second and give us some info if we want them to. But for that event, it's for an agent that has at least three sub-agents or ICs that are working for them. And the point of that, and we have agents at that event that have three and agents at that have 100 or more that are there. And it's really a great way for them to all be together, all these owners that have agents and they're kind of seeing the same issues and trying to figure out ways to solve things or different ways to work their business. And they're able to kind of all talk. And the same thing at that meeting, there's also those peer-to-peers. And 2 years ago, I was at the airport for several hours for the bunch of agents that were there. And that's what they love that part too, especially as an owner, just to talk to others and be able to network together and
Absolutely.
figure stuff out. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, having that connection, instead of just like, how sometimes in your local areas you can network with other business owners as well. But, our industry is so niche. So having that opportunity to be able to connect with other agency owners, that's huge. And
And they
that,
all
and this is a hosted event as well, too, correct?
Correct. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely. And they all like connect afterwards too when they get home. I know several of them have like text messaging chats or WhatsApp chats going on and they check in with each other and it's really nice to see that in the future when they're like, we've been on so many things together now or we talk once a week. So
Oh,
it's
I
really
love
cool,
that.
those things.
I love that. It's important because, we sometimes get stuck in our own little, office and
Yes.
losing that personal touch and that connection. And that's huge to be able to be in a right mindset and a healthy mindset for your business. So I love that. And if there was anybody that's been who's attended that event, feel free to unmute yourself if you want to mention anything. Keep in mind, this is a very casual chat. Anybody can post questions, or if you've attended any of these events, feel free to chime in. We would love to hear from you too as well. So, and then next too, let's see here. I'll pause for a
I
second
know,
if
I
anybody
know
wants
Silk
to.
has joined. If she's still on and I'll answer her question and then maybe she'll say something too. Because she had a question about what book I talked about before. She said
Let's
she
see.
lost connection. So she just was asking about that book that I talked about the business cards that
Yes.
you put the business card at the top
Okay.
and then on the bottom right about the person. So that's what we were referring to about Silk before. But if you have anything to say about your experience at Owners, if you are around or still on the call, that would be fantastic. You're on mute though, or you're disappeared.
Let's see here. Do you see her on here? I have limited
Still
access, all I
there.
can
Yeah,
see.
she is still there, but maybe she's might have walked away or something.
Okay.
I won't
All
call her
right.
out
We'll
clearly.
bug
Anybody
her
else?
later on.
Yeah. She's a good one to
Okay,
talk
I'm
about.
here. Sorry.
Oh, yay, there
There
you
you are.
are.
Sorry. So I'm actually have no internet right now. I'm doing it on my iPad with a hotspot, so I'm having issues.
Oh,
Oh, that's not fun.
Um, so anyway, yes, thank you for mentioning the book. I would love to have that. And as far as talking about the event itself, like Kelly had said, I attended the owners forum for the first time last year in Antigua. And it was amazing. The conference was very well run and executed. Even so, we were at two different resorts. There was no glitches of any kind. And just even, to be in the presence of other travel agency owners is so valuable. You get so many ideas, and we had time to have like little think tanks, so to say, in between. So I would highly, highly recommend that one, which is the only one I know. And I will also be attending the one in Europe, in Poland this year. So I'm looking forward to this. And like, Lisa and both Kelly touched up on upon, we are just like at the core of it all, we are like a very small family when it comes to really great travel advisors. You see the same name always in the same groups. So this is like a perfect opportunity to even get some networking in with, the people that you call friends on Facebook and find in various groups.
Yes, absolutely. And you, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm pretty sure I'm right because this is what I've told people recently, is that when you were at Owners, you met a supplier that you booked a group with or something like that, right?
Yes, I'm actually just signed the contract to go to Mongolia next year.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that
how
was all
fun.
just because of the owners forum and a contact that she met while she was there at the event. She spoke to the person about it. So I thought that was
Correct.
pretty
And
cool when we were there.
And then I'm in the finishing stages of putting a group to Morocco together as well. So with this, with also a supplier from owners. So yes, great connections. I can highly and very diverse connections. So it's, anything from technology to having the travel attorney, travel agent attorney, to great suppliers, DMCs, as well as, mainstream tour operators. So I can only speak highly of this event.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Hmm.
much for your feedback, Silka. I really
Of course.
appreciate that and appreciate all your support too. So,
Oh, of
big
course.
shout out to you. So, thank you for your feedback. That does help, other travel professionals to know what to expect out of the events, So,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah,
that's important to have the firsthand or, hearing what others are saying that experienced it firsthand. So, greatly appreciate you.
Yeah,
no, thank you.
All
and to
right.
add one more thing too to that. So for like something like
Sure.
owners and romance and things like that, you're also going to go and experience the destination, like I said. So last year during owners, it was in Antigua, and we went and did Shirley Heights one night and got to saw the sunset. And another day, people either went on a tour of the island or went on a catamaran. And the year before in Barbados, we did zip lining and things like that too. So there's always some fun things that are added in so people can see the destination too.
Yeah, and that's important because we don't want to be stuck in a conference room,
No,
you know?
exactly. And that's what I like to point out because I think that that's
Yes,
pretty boring when that
exactly. That's
happens.
really important. Thank you for pointing that out. Now, the European Travel Agent Forum. Let's talk about
Yep.
that one.
Yeah, so that one is for agents that specialize in Europe, clearly based on the name. But we just announced those dates. So that one's a couple weeks ago. So that's going to be November 7th through the 11th in Poland this year. And the same thing, that's another one that's a hosted that you have to apply to attend. It's always in a different location in Europe. And we have some great DMCs and suppliers that come to that event also. So those are going to all be from Europe. They're going to be so many different people for you to talk to, and they the same thing. There's one-to-one meetings. I'm not sure about peer-to-peer at that one, but definitely one-to-one. And it's just a great way to meet people and to be able to build those relationships. And you'll also, when you're there, same thing. You'll go out and see some other areas. And the between romance owners and Europe, also there's usually a pre-fam or a post-fam option that you can choose from if you're interested in, and that you can stay either come early or stay a little bit longer. And even for like the romance this year, we're having the last day is a day of the agents are able to go do site inspections at different hotels. So there's three different options of hotel routes for that they'll go and see and be able to go to the W for breakfast that day and then do the site inspection. So we're trying to cram a lot in during these things. It's definitely busy, but it's a lot of knowledge that you're learning for your clients and usually fun.
Yeah, we want it busy because, it's a lot of time that you're invested in and it's your money too. So,
Exactly.
that's the perfect way of doing it. You want to keep busy. Absolutely. So, yeah, so we kind of went through all the different events that Travel Show Marketing Group offers. And one thing that I want to kind of mention before I forget, because I've been in the industry for 22 years now. And I was telling Kelly, I'm like, how long has Travel Show Marketing Group been around? I'm like, it feels like they've been here forever, you know? And we found out that they've been doing these events since 2010. They started off in
Correct.
San Diego.
Mhm.
So that tells you something right there, how great their programs are because they've been around. And honestly, I've heard from a lot of my travel advisor friends that they enjoy the events. I haven't heard one bad thing about all these events. So that's something to really take in and knowing that your travel professional colleagues are enjoying them as well. And you just got to figure out, which one is the right fit for you too, because you want to make sure that the event that you are applying for hosting, that it does fall in your niche and category. And talk about, hosted. So can
Yep.
you explain what hosted is? Because there may be some new travel advisors here that it's like, what do you mean hosted? Why can't I just register? Why can't I just pay to come? Uh,
Right.
so could you talk more about that model, how that works?
Absolutely. And I just recently started doing some calls specifically for that reason because I
Yeah.
realized that there was a lot of people that weren't really sure what it meant. Even people that applied for it still didn't understand what they were doing. So it's
Okay.
pretty much as being a hosted agent is that you're going to attend the event if the event is going to be paid for you. You do not have to pay to attend. And you also are going to have your hotels taken care of. And for some of the events, the transfers will be included. And there's also the potential for getting an air allowance provided too, depending on your qualification, where the event is, etc., from where you live. So it's always a wonderful thing that is if one of the events is within your niche, that it's a great idea to apply. But we do a qualification and a vetting process. So there's two of us in our office that look at all of the applications. So sometimes it does take a while, especially when they first open to hear back because we have to come up with the contracts and we have to also vet everybody and send out emails to suppliers and things like that. So sometimes it's a matter of if the suppliers are going to respond back quickly or see our emails, etc. But I do have some great tips too. So if you want me to share those, I can. So
Yes, please. Yep.
this is one thing that I really love kind of sharing with people because some of them make me laugh and and they're all real. Like nothing I'm gonna say is something that I'm making up. But so for the big thing, when you're applying, my number one is please just look at the event date. If you know your child is graduating from high school and it's always the first weekend in June, please don't apply for a event that's that date because then unfortunately that wastes your time for applying, but it also is wasting our time for vetting and taking that away from someone else. So that's just number one. But obviously we understand that sometimes once you're accepted, maybe you can't attend anymore. That's fine. We get it. There's dates in the contract and things like that for you to make sure that you check. But make sure that your name, for the most part, most people get right, thankfully, but email address, phone number, make sure those are correct. I can't tell you how often they're wrong, and people come to me and are like, hey, I haven't heard from you. And I'm like, okay, well, I sent you back an email, and it will be because they left a word out of their email or left a letter out. So just double check that when you're going through the application, and phone number is also important for that. We're not trying to like spam call you. If I'm trying to call you, it's to talk to you about the event that you've applied for. And very rarely would I even call to say like, hey, we have this event. I am not a cold caller. So unless I really have something I want to talk to you about, I'm not calling you. And then there's also, so on the application has several different questions. One of them is asking for supplier references. So this is where kind of knowing what the event is important and making sure that you're putting a supplier that kind of pertains to that event. So if you're applying for something like romance, you're going to want to add some people that can confirm that yes, you've done destination weddings with them and that you have romance travel booked for them. If you want to use someone like a Antigua or a destination as a referral, just make sure that you're putting all your bookings onto their website because if they can't confirm it, they're not going to be able to be a reference for you. They can say that they met you before and you're a nice person, but they won't be able to confirm your bookings. And then same thing for Europe, right? European supplier, etc. So make sure that when you're filling that, you're putting the person's email address. If there's also a request for an agent recommendation, please don't put yourself there. We just will stop looking at it. I promise. And also don't put your husband's name because I really hope that they like you. Um, if they
Sorry.
don't, then
You had to make me laugh
right,
on
thank you for laughing.
that.
The, so why attend? This one really gets to me sometimes because so yes, ChatGPT is big out there, AI is big. I use it sometimes 100% to write my emails, not gonna lie. But when you're filling out that why attend, make sure it's from your heart and that you understand what the event is about because we get them sometimes and it's like why attend Las Vegas when people are applying for that. And Las Vegas is not about the destination. Las Vegas is about bringing all of the suppliers from all over the world to a destination and being able to kind of a broad niche. There's not one specific niche there. So it's you want to put why you want to attend. And when people write like this whole long thing about wanting to go to Las Vegas to learn about Vegas, you can sometimes tell that AI probably wrote that for them. Another thing on that one is, leave out that it's your birthday, your 50th birthday, or your 25th wedding anniversary, and you want to have your husband come or wife come along with you. Yeah, no, please don't include those things because, yes, I'm very happy that you made it 25 years in your marriage or 50 years or whatever it is, but I'm not going to accept you because it's your birthday or anniversary. These are really for why you think the event is going to help your business grow, right? That's what the event's for. Why is it going to help your business grow,
Exactly.
et cetera? So
Mhm.
that's just those ones, like, I'm always like, okay.
Yeah. Good
Or,
basic direction. Some
yeah,
people need to be steered that way.
yep,
And as a reminder, yes,
yes.
unfortunately, but yes.
And like, and focus, the question is also a sales figure. So that's your sales figure, not your commission figure. So I think sometimes people get that confused, and then it makes them possibly not look like they're as great of an agent, or haven't been as long as they have, or have as high sales as being a full-time agent. So just really focus on what the questions are and making sure that you're filling them out correctly. And then the last thing on that one is just the supplier references. Also, make sure you reach out to those suppliers, because it's really weird when I reach out to a supplier and they don't know who an agent is that use them as a reference. So that's awkward
Yeah.
from my side, because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, they put you, so okay, thanks. Like, nothing I can do here now. But, or make sure you've used it recently, reach out and be like, hey, is it okay for me to put you as a reference? Because some suppliers don't want to be, or their companies don't allow them to be references. So just be careful. Make sure you talk to them first, because yes, we reach out to them.
Great points. Yep.
Yep. And just, just like you would a regular application for a job, just proofread it after.
Absolutely. Proofread. Especially like, sometimes I am notorious of transposing letters and numbers, so I always have to double check my emails, like when I write it down, because my mind and fingers go quicker than what, is supposed to be actually written down. So it's always a good job to, just make sure that you have all the correct information. So those are great tips. Thank you,
And the
Kelly.
other one that will make you laugh a little bit probably is
Oh no,
like,
I don't know if I want to hear it.
if you do use AI for like the why attend, remove the part that says like insert event name here. That you're
Oh,
actually
ouch.
supposed to put the event name there.
That's painful.
And I got,
Yes. Professionalism goes a long way. So
yeah,
definitely, at least that makes it easier for you to filter out your application process,
right? It does. But
right?
sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel bad for that person.
Yes, yes.
So,
Pay attention to details.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I think that that's a great program that, you're showcasing, you're helping those travel advisors to come into your events, to be able to network with a variety of travel suppliers and those travel suppliers who want to work with the travel advisor community too, which is huge. So with you having that hosted program, paying for their, admission and paying for their hotel, right? That's what you mentioned
Yep.
too.
Yeah, everything at the event is
Yeah.
paid for them.
That is huge. That is awesome that you do offer that. And just as a recap for some of you who are just who've joined in a little bit late, that the Las Vegas travel agent forum, that hosted segment is full right now. But they do still have registration, which is very reasonable. That's available, and actually. Fine Travel does have a code for that that will bring it down to the 199 rate. And I'm telling you, 199 is like $199 is a great investment for you to attend that type of event that you have those connections. It's a whole network of different education tracks that you could choose what you want to go to, along with what Kelly said about the roundtables and the trade show. I actually been to one of the events, and I'm telling you, I was very impressed with how many agents were there. I loved the mix of agents, new, experienced agents from all different types of affiliations, too. That's what I loved about it. And the trade show was just buzzing. I mean, there were so many different trade show tables to choose from too. So I did experience one event, and it was a great experience for me to go to, and I just love the vibe.
And there's also, just to add, at the end of the event, after the last day of the trade show, everybody gets a ticket that attends, and you can enter it into a raffle for
Yes.
prizes. And the prizes are amazing.
They,
There are $700 plus prizes, so many of them. Anything from like a river cruise to hotel stays and things like that. You're not just getting a bottle of wine or whatever. You're getting a good, a good prize that's at least worth $700 for anybody that's names chosen, and you have to be there to win it. And so if someone's name's picked and they're not there at that point, then we just pick the next name. And it's about, I think, $250,000, if I'm correct, as far as how many, the total value of all the prizes together that are given out.
Yeah, I
So
was at one of those prize giveaways and I just love the excitement. And I love it when
yeah,
people get excited when they win too. It's like, yeah, that adds an extra little, bonus for you and another way for you to be able to expand, your knowledge within the industry too with these little giveaways that they have. So yes, excellent. And the code for that rate for the Las Vegas Travel Agent Forum is 5290. And I put it in the chat too. And I think I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can actually put all the, um, let's see here. I have all the links to their events. Of course, you can always find this on the Find Travel Events calendar. You can always search it up by name. The calendar will bring it up for you, but I'll put it right here in the chat for you as well. So you have it. I hope I have it correct in here. I didn't test these links before I put them in, so I apologize if they might be a little off. Uh,
I just put the hotel rates too for
okay.
Vegas. So people had those. I
Okay,
was
so
trying to
you
be.
do have group rates for the hotel. All right.
Yep. So when people apply, they'll get an email afterwards and
Mhm.
it will direct them to how to book their hotel. And then they'll
Okay.
also get communication with when the sessions are opening to be selected and things like that too. So if once you sign up, just make sure that your emails are coming to your inbox because we are big on sending emails and big on sending out details. So
Yeah, check your junk and spam boxes.
yeah,
Sometimes when you have automated emails, they kind of get filtered in there. So the event is actually taking place at the Paris Las Vegas Hotel, correct?
correct.
Okay. So, and it looks like you have another option at the Horseshoe too. So they do have that available. And there was a question that came up. I don't want to forget.
Oh, about ETAF, right? I did see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the European wins the pre and post, that's going to be a little bit closer in over the next few months. Lisa is, I mean, she's phenomenal. Lisa Marshall is phenomenal about communicating and telling people things. She's working on ETAF, so you guys are lucky on that one. She's great at making sure that you guys know when things are coming out, when you have to select things and things like that. So just be checking your email. She's also going to communicate in the Facebook group. So once you get accepted as a hosted position in these events, a Facebook group is created also, and details are usually updated there. So my guess would be probably a couple months still for the pre and post fam. Um, Definitely, not even my guess. I'm pretty sure. So that will happen, and then she'll communicate when stuff's going to go out. We're still working on right now the pre and post fams and having everybody sign up for romance. So those are being signed up for right now, and it's in June. I think tomorrow we're doing some of the site inspections, and then they'll still positions open for that for people to apply. But then in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do the pre and post fam. So if you're interested in romance, I really, really urge you to apply for that and to go on our website. And then also I can put my email address in here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I can always answer questions or get on the phone with you and talk through some things too if you have questions on some of the events that we didn't cover.
Thank you, Kelly, for that. Absolutely. And for those who may not be live on the call, it's Kelly, it's Kelley at travelsmg.com. And that's her email address.
And just make sure you add that second E because we have a Kelly with one E at the beginning. So she
I
gets some.
used to have that at a workplace. I had a Kelly without the E and with the E. That's funny. No, excellent. Now, you may have covered this already, but it may have kind of gone over my head. So the Romance Travel Forum and the Agency Owners Forum and the European Travel Agent Forum, all the applications are still open for people
Correct.
to put in that, but it's just the hosted part of the Las Vegas one is not open.
Yeah, and if someone's interested in Las Vegas, they can apply and we can look at it if someone cancels, but that one is not taking very many. So as far as that goes, if you want to apply and see what happens. But for romance owners in Europe, we're still taking applications for all of those. And romance is in June, so that one won't be taking them for a few more weeks. But I highly urge people to apply for that one. And for owners, if anybody has applied to that, I was just in Alaska and I'm working on owners. So I'm still reviewing all of that, and we'll be sending out emails to people shortly and asking follow-up questions and reaching out to suppliers. But that one hasn't happened yet. So if you applied and you haven't heard, it's not because you didn't get it. It's just because I'm working on it.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anybody have any questions before we conclude our little chat here. And thank you, Nicole, for sending that link for that business card organizer. Excited to check that out on Amazon. Appreciate you sharing that. Let's see here. And it looks like some of the links that I put in the chat are not quite complete links. I'm sorry. It looks like they're
I
kind of
have a
wonky.
document. I have a document too that I can send out to you. Will you have the email addresses for people that joined this call that I could email them?
Yeah, yeah, we could
Okay.
send that to everybody. And of course,
Okay.
everybody can access that on the Find
Yeah.
Travel
Oh
calendar
yeah, absolutely.
too. And also, if you're not part of my travel industry events guide and travel or resources for Travel Pro Facebook group, I do recommend you check it out, and I'll send you the information on that too as a recap. That's where I can update you on like if they're when their applications open for their hosted events, I'll be like, hey, guess what? It's open. You know, it's time to get it in before you lose your chance because those are great opportunities and they only have limited slots as well too. So definitely check that out. So anything else that you want to talk about, Kelly, before we conclude?
I think the only other thing that I'd add is that for people that have come to our events in the past, we do ask for follow-up questions. Some people sometimes are a little confused by that. So when you apply, we are going to come back to you if you've applied in the last, if you've been to the event in the last 2 years, because we need to make sure that the event was something that was successful for you, and that it worked with suppliers, because we can only take a certain percentage of some agents that have attended in the last couple of years to the event that year. So just FYI on that, it's not we're not trying to be rude or anything. We just want to follow up with you on it.
Awesome. That's great to know. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Kelly, for giving us an inside look at Travel Show Marketing Group's events today. Appreciate that. And it's always helpful for travel advisors to hear directly from organizers like you and Travel Advisor too. So we all can have a better understanding of what to expect from events. For anyone watching who would like to explore these events, like I mentioned before, and discover other events throughout the industry, you can visit findtravel.com. That's with a Y, not an I. There's over 400 events listed right now on the calendar that are upcoming, where you can explore the directory and actually not just the calendar, that there's training events. You can connect with different suppliers and business development resources as well. It's my little passion project of mine, so feel free to check that out. And also, before I conclude this, I want to give you a preview of my next event check-in with me. I will be sitting down with Greg Phillips from Nevis Sun Tours to talk about his Caribbean luxury travel mastermind. So I talked to him about this program a little bit. I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to let everybody know about it. So this program is designed for travel advisors who want to grow their luxury, I'm telling luxury travel business and work with high-end Caribbean clients. Okay. So with him, I'll talk about what the mastermind includes, who it's designed for, and how you can participate. So stay tuned on the upcoming announcement on when that's going to be taking place because we're trying to finalize the dates for that. So that'll be exciting to learn about because it is an business accelerator program. So okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us today, and I will see you at the next event check and chat with me. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Lisa.
much.